So the Hollywood Reporter just served Meghan Markle the kind of review no duchess should ever have to choke down, according to Meghan. And let me tell you, it's embarrassing because the headline literally reads, "With love, Meghan."
So Meghan was totally dreaming that her second cooking season was gonna shake the whole world. But guess what? It turned into the biggest flop ever, and after so much gossip and people dragging her, she still wanted to prove everyone wrong with her Netflix show, With Love. So she dropped season 2 with shiny trailers, fancy promos, and her team hyping it up like it was about to break all the records. But instead of a big win.
Season 1 was bland, and season 2 is the reheated leftovers that nobody likes. Nobody likes day-old tuna salad. Meghan, all right, let's get started.
And now Meghan is totally drowning in shame because the numbers are brutal. Her With Love season 2 totally crashed, got hit with embarrassing 1-star ratings from critics and viewers. And the hate is so real that even insiders are saying this is one of the biggest fails of the year, and poor Meghan, who thought she was about to steal the spotlight, is now stuck with the truth that her brand is falling apart. And the review sites show her show has dropped all the way to the bottom of Netflix rankings.
Hello everyone, I'm Star Cheers, and in this channel we analyze videos and articles through the lens of PR. Season 1 of the Duchess of Sussex Netflix series should have served as a taste test. Instead, the host and executive producer's lack of substitution.
Even shows that got quietly canceled after one season never fell this low. And critics are calling it a total disaster. And to make it worse, people did not just ignore it, they totally rejected it. All those 1-star reviews show they hate not just the show, but Meghan too. And the public is clearly not buying what she is selling from the start. The show had a big problem. Nobody asked for it. Meghan tried to sell With Love as a cozy, relatable lifestyle thing. But instead of real vibes, people got fake kitchens, scripted chats, and Meghan hogging every single shot.
Second season. This right here is savage because the way I translate it is that season 1 bombed. Customers told you that your product isn't good and it flopped. You should not rush out to get the same product out again.
Critics are saying the show has nothing to do with food love or culture and is just Meghan trying again to remake herself, not as a royal, not as an actress, but as some kind of lifestyle guru. But the audience is over it. They see through the act and are bored of it. And the tea is she was bragging behind the scenes that this season would smash records. And technically she was right, but in the worst way possible. Because now With Love season 2 might go down in Netflix history for all the wrong reasons.
For being hollow, unrelatable, and about as authentic as a stock photo. So what does Meghan do? She obviously doubles down on the exact same formula, no pivots, no adjustments, nothing, which is shocking. Because in business, NPR, entrepreneurship.
So now this show is officially the worst reviewed thing of its kind, and a clear sign of how far the Sussex brand has tumbled. Even entertainment insiders are laughing at the irony. She wanted to break records, one critic joked, and she did, but for being totally unwatchable, and the harshest shade is calling it just a vanity project. Every episode, every shot, every angle seems made not to show food culture or guests, but just Meghan herself with fancy outfits and carefully scripted stories, trying to seem relatable.
I mean, it's obvious, you would think, right? If people hated the test pilot, you don't go back and make 7 more episodes in the exact same tone, lighting, and script. But that's exactly what she did. We'll skip to this paragraph where it says, the first episode of season 2, which debuted on August 26, begins.
The show ended up feeling more like propaganda than real TV. One critic even said, it was like watching someone's Instagram stories stretched into 45 minutes. And that really shows how frustrated the audience is. Major outlets have been ruthless, calling it tone-deaf fluff, pretending to be real, and others dragging Meghan for serving fake vibes wrapped in self-promotion. And the timing made it worse, because her popularity was already falling fast, and she really needed a hit. But instead, she gave a total disaster. And now the critics' words are basically an epitaph for the show, and maybe even for Meghan's future on TV.
One aired 3 days. That means any criticism, any headline dragging her was ignored because the episodes were already in the can. This wasn't authentic Meghan. It was factory-made content.
So here we are. Meghan Markle's With Love. Season 2 was supposed to be her big comeback, but instead it became her biggest public flop with 1-star reviews, critics shading her, and audiences roasting the show. And Meghan is losing it completely. And Harry skipping the launch did not go unnoticed. Insiders say he was already suspicious of the whole thing, seeing it as just another Meghan vanity project. And when the 1-star reviews hit, he stayed totally quiet. And now even critics are mocking him as the husband getting pulled down by all the fails.
Image of herself as the girl next door, apron on, hair casually tied back, just whipping up a quick cafe salad because chaos is real life cooking. This time around, audiences get at least a tiny morsel of an explanation as
for a man already getting dragged for leaving the monarchy. The flop of With Love just adds to Harry's shame. The prince who once stood for Invictus and service is now getting overshadowed by Meghan's disastrous TV projects. And in Los Angeles, the gossip is just as savage. Insiders, producers, execs, and agents are quietly snickering. Many were already doubtful Meghan could carry a show, remembering her failed podcast and Netflix debut. And one exec even said this wasn't a show. It was just a self-promotion reel. And even that failed in an industry all about profit and prestige. Meghan is now seen as a risky bet.
She either has to own her own lane or she will get crushed trying to saddle too. You can be aspirational, leaning into luxury like Martha Stewart or Gwyneth Paltrow. Women who don't...
Her projects don't pull in viewers. They actually push them away. And the biggest fallout might come from Netflix itself, who spent millions on the Sussex deal. And now, with Love Season 2 bombing hard, the execs are under pressure to justify it and are reportedly thinking if keeping Meghan is even worth it. Some analysts say this could be the breaking point if Netflix loses patience. Meghan and Harry could get cut off, losing the boost of the world's biggest streaming platform. And it's not just critics or execs. Regular viewers are giving the harshest shade, flooding social media with jokes about Meghan's stiff-acting fake stories and constant self-focus. And instead of connecting the show, just feels forced.
Meghan, while she's standing in a multi-million-dollar Montecito estate stocked with produce from her private garden, sipping on green juice made by a Michelin-starred chef who designed her wedding menu. That is not real.
And the audience is making it super clear with all those 1-star reviews, and this kind of people-powered rejection is way more dangerous than anything critics or execs can throw. Because you can ignore critics, you can charm execs, but when the everyday viewers who Netflix actually relies on say your show is totally unwatchable, it's basically a death sentence for the series. And the bigger story is what this flop says about Meghan herself. Her entire post-royal life was built on always being in the spotlight, doing big interviews with Oprah. Glossy magazine spreads billion-dollar deals and fancy appearances, trying to show she is still a major cultural force. But with Love, Season 2 proves the world is over. People are tired of the act, and they are not buying the Meghan Markle brand anymore. The one that used to seem bold, disruptive, and exciting now feels forced fake and totally unrelatable. And this collapse is not just about one bad show, it threatens the whole image she has tried to build since leaving royal life, showing that no matter the PR hype or flashy marketing, the audience sees straight through it and is no longer willing to play along.
As a brand builder is finished. That's a scarlet letter of modern PR. So when The Hollywood Reporter points out this failed middle-class cosplay, it's not just a dig at her cooking show. No, absolutely not.
And now Meghan is seen as totally overexposed, tone-deaf, and desperate. Every flop just eats away at her credibility. And with Hollywood getting cold and Netflix rethinking their deal, her brand is teetering on the edge of being irrelevant. And the flop of With Love. Season 2 is not just another embarrassing headline. It's the result of years of overreaching, and all of it together. Harry's shame Hollywood, snickering, Netflix frustration, and the public dragging her show. The truth is brutal. Meghan Markle is no longer seen as a bankable star. She thought she could grab the spotlight back and shine, but instead,
embracing her actual reality, which is luxury, privilege, high-end living. She's staging this watered-down Target aisle relatability, and the result is neither aspirational nor relatable. It's just bland.
And now she has been exposed not as some global icon, but as a celebrity whose moment is over. And unless she finds a way to completely reinvent herself in ways she has avoided so far, this Netflix flop might not just be the end of one show. It could be the end of Meghan's Hollywood dreams entirely. And now the spotlight is on her because she put her reputation on the line with Love Season 2, and the world answered with one-star reviews, ruthless critics and viewers who just stopped watching. And the big question everyone is asking is, what will she do next?
This is not a tabloid. This is a respected entertainment outlet with industry critics who literally their job is to evaluate television and others. And here's the brutal truth. These critics aren't painting you in.
So the big question everyone is asking now is, should Netflix finally cut ties with Meghan after this huge, humiliating flop? Or does she still deserve one last chance to show that she can actually deliver real content and not just another vanity project? I really want to hear what you think. So drop cut the deal in the comments. If you believe Netflix should stop wasting millions on a brand that keeps failing and walk away for good, or write one more shot if you think Meghan deserves a final chance to redeem herself and prove she can make something fresh and exciting. Because make no mistake, this isn't just about one bad show. This is about the whole reputation she has built since leaving royal life and how the world sees her now. And this moment could totally decide if she stays relevant in Hollywood or fades into the background. And your vote matters, because the audience has always been the ultimate judge, and now it's up to us to weigh in on what happens next.
Rid of that, or evolve from that, or make it better, something. But she doesn't take criticism at all. She just thinks we're making this caricature of her, because she just cries out, it's a caricature every time someone calls out her. Always does. Plays victim, doubles down, and deflects. And the irony, guys, the irony.
So this whole situation is really about Meghan Markle's entire Hollywood experiment and whether she can actually survive as a streaming star if Netflix finally decides to pull the plug. Because if they do, her career could be completely over for good, but if they keep her on, they risk even more embarrassment, wasted millions, and the public seeing her flop even harder. And in our next episode, we are going to dig deep into exactly what that would mean. What really happens if Netflix cuts her loose? Can Meghan and Harry survive in Hollywood without their biggest backer? Or would it just send them spiraling into total irrelevance? And it's wild, because Meghan always plays the victim, doubles down, and deflects. And the irony here is insane. The critics have spoken, the audience has rejected her, and with Love, Season 2 has earned the humiliating distinction of being one of Netflix's worst-rated shows ever. But the flop of the series is really only the beginning of the fallout, behind all the flashy headlines and savage reviews. There is a deeper, brutal truth. Harry's growing embarrassment, Hollywood quietly laughing behind the scenes, and Netflix calculating coldly together, they paint a brutally clear picture of a brand collapsing. And the end is nowhere in sight. And the stakes could not be higher, because this moment might totally decide whether Meghan stays relevant in Hollywood or completely fades from the spotlight. And the audience now has the ultimate power to judge her and her career. So hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because Meghan's breakdown is way more than just a bad show. It's the defining moment that could seal her fate forever. And honestly, guys, the tea is juicy. Every misstep, every flop, every bad review is piling up and showing that no matter how much PR or hype she throws at a project, the world is no longer buying it. And this could be the turning point where even Harry's presence can't save the image, and we are all watching live as a brand. Once seen as powerful starts to crumble in front of everyone. Eyes, and the question now is, can she reinvent herself? Or is this truly the end of the Meghan Markle Hollywood era? So, if you guys enjoyed all this drama and want even more juicy updates, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the Bella Breaks Down, and turn on the notifications, because you know I will be spilling all the tea and breaking down every twist as it happens.